One is 10.5, and it's I can determine whether 3 side lengths will make a right triangle. Whether 3 side lengths will make a right triangle. So we call 3 side lengths or 3 numbers that work for the Pythagorean theorem Pythagorean triples. So we need to decide if each one of these sets of 3 side lengths will make a right triangle. So if the Pythagorean theorem works, then it's a right triangle. If the Pythagorean theorem doesn't work, then it's not a right triangle. So remember the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I know c has to be, remember when I have a right triangle, C has to be the hypotenuse, the one that's opposite of the right angle on the longest side. A and B are the other 2 legs. And so on this one, I know that the 20 has to be the C because it's the biggest number. It's the longest side. So I would say 12 squared plus 16 squared equals 20 squared. And we don't have to, these don't have to be in this order. We could switch A and B, but this one has to be C. So then 12 squared is 144. 16 squared is 256, and 20 squared is 400. And then we'll keep simplifying this side. 144 plus 256 is 400. So since both sides were equal, they're the same, the Pythagorean theorem works, and this is a right triangle. So I can say, yes, this one is a right triangle, and if it asked me to justify my answer, I could say that was my justification. It shows that the Pythagorean theorem works, so it is a right triangle. For the next one, we have to plug this into the Pythagorean theorem. The 26 has to be C because it's the longest side across from the right angle. So I would do 10 squared plus 22 squared. Does that equal 26 squared? And again, I could switch the 10 and the 22. I just have to have the 26 be C. So 10 squared is 100, 22 squared is 484. See, does that equal 26 squared? 26 squared is 676. And I'll add these two. 100 plus 44 is 584. These two are not equal, so this does not make a right triangle because the Pythagorean theorem does not work. Okay, for number C, letter C, first we have to decide which side has to be C on our right triangle, which side's the hypotenuse. And it has to be the 85 because that's the longest side. So I would do 51 squared plus 68 squared equals 85 squared. And remember, I can switch these two, but this one has to be C because it's the longest. 51 squared is 2,601. 68 squared is 4,624, and 85 squared is 7,225. And I'll add these two. So 2,601 plus 4,624 is 7,225. So that means both sides of the equation are equal. This will make a right triangle. So I need you to try part D on your own, and then you're going to enter your answer in for your submission box on Canvas.